So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our special video of the week. And yes, I uploaded this video maybe just an hour ago because I made a stupid boo-boo. Because I talk too fast, my brain is calculating things faster than what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to correct that here regarding the ascendant example I was giving. So anyway, this particular question was asked for me when I posted on my YouTube post just a couple of days ago. Hey, what should I make? It's a beautiful day. I want to go to the river and film something. And you guys all gave your questions. And from there, I saw this one question that just like, whoa, this is a smart question, never been asked before, about when one should not seek fame. Everybody wants to seek fame, especially in this day and age. But when should someone not seek fame? And I forgot the person who gave me this question. I just saw that question. I'm like, oh, I love this. Okay, great. Click. And within 20 minutes, I was on my way to this river and this beautiful sunset scene that I wanted to shoot at with all my gear. But too many people. It was like a holiday or something. And it's obviously summer, so everybody's there. And there's no way. I try to find some isolated place where, I don't look weird in front of the camera and lights and everything. So, yeah, I just couldn't. Then I had to just come back. So now here I'm doing it. So very simple technique. Because here's the thing, there is instances where one should not seek fame, because seeking fame can kind of like cause friction towards your work and reputation and bring it down, because it's like 10th house. Okay, so the simplest thing is, and I'm not even going into divisional charts like Navamsha, Dasamsha, Sasthyamsha, or Dwadasamsha. No, I'm simply going to stick to birth chart. That's it. And the simple trick is, if your 10th Lord is in a difficult position, you will see that when fame comes in, suddenly you will see a downfall in your career. Downfall in reputation happens. So now, let me give you an example. Before I give Taurus ascendant, but it was supposed to be Aquarius ascendant. So let's say, for example, somebody's an Aquarius ascendant. That means Mars will rule the 10th house, right? Mars specifically goes into the 6th house and is debilitated. And especially you will see 10th Lord position in 6th, 8th, 12th house or 3rd house in a difficult scenario will definitely bring about this. So 10th Lord Mars goes into the 6th house in the sign of Cancer. That means it's debilitated. Now that's one piece of the block. So don't just think that, well, 10th Lord is debilitated, so now it's bad. No, because then that's like then you're really fresh in astrology as a student, because there are a whole lot of, it's like an onion layer. You got to keep either peeling off the onion layer or putting the layer back on to see if this is an onion or not. So it's kind of like you're taking a Lego, you're looking at one block. Okay, 10th Lord debilitated. But now let's add another block to this scenario. Let's say Mars is in the 6th house in Cancer, debilitated, and it's surrounded by malefics. Let's say Saturn is in the 7th house, 2nd from Mars. Rahu is in the 5th house, 12th from Mars. So what is happening? Kartri Yoga, which represents the cutting off the benefic significance of a planet. Not all the way, but certain benefic significance. And let's just say the 6th house receives total Sarvashtak Varga of 17 points, which is a total accumulated points given to a house by other planets, including the ascendant, that how strong is this house, what it's worth. But again, if you only see low points in a particular house, yet you see other things that are benefic, then this example will not work out so well. Because in astrology, you got to look at the pros and cons. If your cons are less and pros are high, then pros will overtake the cons. But cons will be there, but not to that high of a gravity. So now, if we have this particular scenario, and let's say this is a chart of somebody who's working for, let's say, some big tech company. Okay. And this big tech company has a yearly award ceremonies. So people from all over the world come to see each other, okay, because it's a billion dollar, gazillion dollar company. And this is a award ceremony where people are chosen for different categories and different accolades. And then they choose, employee of the year. And the person who had this particular position is chosen as employee of the year. So what happens? Fame comes in. So fame comes in. When they are in front of thousands of people, they receive their award, they're on cloud nine. Then several weeks later, suddenly something happens where now either they're being demoted, being laid off, being fired. And let's say this particular position can show with Mars in the 6th house and Rahu on the other side and Saturn on the other side, is that as soon as fame came in, issues within the marriage and dealing with children caused you to get into some kind of an argument within the workspace that suddenly got you fired or laid off, because 6th house is your daily routine. Or suddenly you have to take on some big debt or loan that now affected your career, and you were so angry that you just went off on someone, and somehow you were laid off and fired, and yet you were the employee of the year. So this is why you have to understand that 10th house, as much as it's our work environment, it's not really the career. Career is like a curry. Okay. It's not just 10th lord here and then you're going to do this. No, you got to look at many, many things. You got to look at someone's dharma, artha, kama. You got to look at somebody's destiny point, and then atma karka. You got to look at 5th room karakamsha lagna. And it's just, you as an astrologer, you have to then become that intuitive scientist and rearrange everything to see what this person should be doing. But career and fame are these two wheels of the 10th house. Okay. And so career is going, it's working fine. It's churning the ocean of success. But then fame comes in. And what fame does, it collides into this. And due to certain friction and motion, the career crumbles down, goes underwater. So even though they're both there as part of this 10th house, which is the most visible house, but it's just that activating that fame was not good for this particular career or for this particular individual. So this is why seeking fame, becomes not such a great thing to pursue. Now, on the other hand, if let's say the Kartra Yoga wasn't there, Mars was there in the 6th house with Venus. Well, Mars, fine, is debilitated. Okay, so what? It's actually creating a Raj Yoga with Venus. That means it shows by dealing with some kind of a fight, competition, rival, you will rise in life. And fame may even actually increase your valor. Because in a way, even though Mars is not exalted in its own sign, in those places it'll cause Veer Yoga, meaning yoga to rise above everybody else. But here, because of that Raj Yoga, it'll still do that particular job as well. So this is what you need to understand. So when anybody wants to seek fame, so if this person knew that these are my alignments, this is what's happening in my chart, and when that award nomination came in, they would be like, you know what? No, I don't want it. I don't want any fame recognition. I'm very shy about these things. I want to be in private. I don't want to be known to anybody. Please, give this to someone else. Give this to this person in my team. They're working even just as hard as me, but I don't want it. I really appreciate what you have done, but for me, it's, I want to just work. Well, in that case, what happens is you never activate this churning of this other wheel, and this wheel will just keep turning, 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 and goes forward. Now, of course, people go through different dashas, different time periods. They have their own difficulties, they have their own cons and pros. But whether it's a good dasha or bad dasha, but if how that 10th lord is, when that wheel of fame churns, then it becomes difficult. But in other cases, you're gonna need fame. You're gonna need, notoriety in order to make money. But again, for that, the foundation of the 10th house has to be strong. And that's all the simplest thing that you have to look at to determine that. Nothing else. Doesn't matter if that planet is now exalted in the Dasamsha. Its job as exalted in Dasamsha will do something else. But the fame part will take its hold in the birth chart. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my small little video on this particular questionnaire. And if you want to know where your 10th lord is placed and how it's placed, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report under shop section, where you'll find my books, consultations, and link to my academy, Maga Vedic Astrology Academy, where actually I'm going to be putting a lengthy article. Maybe you can call it a mini book, but a lengthy article on Navamsha, telling you every single thing that I know of Navamsha and how to interpret Navamsha, how to deal with Navamsha. Like once and for all, I'm going to give it all on my academy. It'll take me a month. I've already written 11 pages within like 2-3 hours because I'm so into it, but I'm going to every day work on it, especially using like real charts of students and people, that I've worked with or given readings to, but I'm going to be taking real charts to show some celebrity charts, but mainly real practical charts. So anyway, guys, we'll see you tomorrow from our regular series. Bye-bye.